I guess just an observation is that I think recent studies show that girls are more successful than boys in schools anyway, and it was sort of like the stuff that we were learning in Grant Davis's class said that teaching is going towards collectivities and across the disciplines. So if anything, it would maybe be, I mean, it's maybe advantageous to have them all together, but maybe in some ways boys could be separated because that's not the way that they learn.
No, that's a really good observation. No, and you're right in the fact that the movement has actually gone to, there's a lot of books coming out now like Why Are Boys Failing and Saving Boys from Our School System. So that's something to look at too. The first thing is you have to wonder, how do you measure success? What is this idea of successful education?
People who get really high-paying jobs.
People who get really high-paying jobs. What else?
People who get high grades.
People who get high grades.
Standardized testing.
Standardized testing. Is there anything else that we can measure success by?
General happiness.
General happiness, exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick presentation, give you the research that I've done and some factors to think about, and then we're going to do a bit of a role play. I'm going to give you a character, and you're going to speak as if you were this person, and we're going to have a pack meeting. But what the research has to say really in pro of single-sex schooling, so having girls in separate classrooms, is that in a mixed classroom, boys tend to dominate. They tend to be the ones to put up their hands. They tend to be the ones to gear the conversation where they want it to go. Where once you have a single-sex classroom, the girls are willing to voice their opinion. They're not constrained by that gender role that they need to be passive. In a mixed classroom, self-worth tends to be measured by appearance. Girls tend to be more focused on how they look, how they present themselves, where once you take the opposite sex out of the equation, they're measuring themselves by competence. Girls become actually quite competitive in terms of marking. And then in mixed, there tends to be this, and I'd like to think that this is changing as we become teachers, where teachers tend to assume, especially in math classes or the more stronger academics, that the boys are just going to do better. So it's why even ask the girl what her opinion is, because obviously the boy, you're better chance of getting an answer from a boy. Whereas, again, in single-sex, girls are very proficient at math. They tend to learn differently. And I'll talk about the issue I have with that, but the idea is that girls don't really like that idea of, here's how you do it, now go and do it. They like to, the researchers found is they really like to have this collective, where the teacher says, this is how it can be done, and then they like to get together and figure it out themselves. They don't like to sit in your desk and do your own individual work.